Welcome to our channel Electrical and Control Engineering. It's our second lecture about the optimal placement of phase measurement unit for the power system observability. So if you find any difficulty in understanding this lecture, please go to our previous lecture, which is lecture 1 of the optimal placement of phasor measurement unit. So as discussed in our previous lecture, what's PMU? PMU is a phase measurement unit that is used for synchronized measurement of voltage and current waveforms for the sampling of the current and waveforms, and these provides the synchronized measurement of real-time phasor of bus and currents of the branches. So in this lecture we will discuss the detailed methodology of the optimal placement of PMUs. So as previously discussed, these are connected with the GPS, so these measurements are synchronized. So our focus again in this lecture will be to use minimum number of PMUs for the observability of a system. Observability, what does observability means? If each bus of the system, its phasor can be measured with the help of PMUs, then all the buses are observable. So observability means the phase and the phasor of current and voltage of that specific bus can be measured. For example, if a PMU is placed here or whatever place, if the voltage and current, the voltage of this bus and the current of these branches are known, the phases of current and voltage are known, then it means that this bus is observable. So let's first define some the objective function of this genetic algorithm, means the optimization algorithm. It may be particle swarm optimization, genetic algorithm, or it may be any global optimization technique. So first of all, let's define the objective function. The objective function will be to minimize the number of phase measurement units. So the summation of to minimize the summation of phase measurement units, that will be our objective function. So what should be the constraints? The constraint will be that all the buses of the system are observable. So we have constraint as that, so all the system buses should be observable, and the branch current should, the phasor are also be measurable, and plus the objective function will be to minimize the number of PMUs, summation of those PMUs. So first of all, let's define an Xi. What is here Xi? Xi is 1 if the PMU is installed at specific bus I. Xi is 0 otherwise. So, and W is simply the cost of that specific PMU, the weightage. So if the 3 number of PMUs are installed, so the summation of this function will be 3. If we take Wi as a unity, so our objective function will be 3. If with the help of 3 PMUs our system is observable, it means that this condition constraint means the system is observable, then it means those are the minimum possible. For example, in 14 bus IEEE 14 bus system, the minimum 3 buses are PMUs are required for the observability of the matrix. So summation of those Xi's will be 3, and subject to all the system buses are observable. So what Xi we have already defined. So the second important thing in this algorithm will be the connectivity matrix. That's also called the incidence matrix. That is formed here in this. So AMN, the any entry of the A matrix will be 1 if M is n, means the of the diagonal entries as this one, these are the diagonal entries. Secondly, if the bus M is connected to bus N, if bus M is connected to bus N, then it should be 1. Means here this entry connects, the bus 2 is connected to 1, the same will be reflected here in the row. Similarly, this one, the bus 3 is connected to bus 4, and similarly this one, the 6th bus is connected to bus number 2, and similarly the 7th bus is connected to bus number 2. So that's the connectivity matrix of any system, power system. So in this case, our example is this 7 bus system. You can see here the 7 bus system. So this is the connectivity matrix of this one. You can see that the bus number 2 is connected to 1, 6, 3 and 7 buses. So the last you will see the same, that this second, fourth, the 7th bus, the bus number 2 is connected to bus number 1. This will be already one connected to bus number 3, bus number 6 and bus number 7. Same can be observed here. The bus number 2 is connected to these buses. So this is our connectivity matrix. That's very important in this algorithm while minimizing the number of PMUs for the observability of a power system network. So the second thing is Fx. Keep in mind that this is not F2, this is by mistake, this is F7. Make it F7. So while seeing this, these are the constraints. So Fx, summation of Fx should be equal to or greater than 1. Here it's defining the detail, that constraint in detail. So Fx should be equal to or greater than 1. So Fx has 7 buses. So the system has 7 buses. So each bus system, this matrix is defining that each bus of the system should be observable. This is make assured by this matrix that each entry summation of each row should be equal to or greater than 1. So what this first entry, x1 plus x2 should be equal to 1 or greater than 1. It means that either PMU should be placed at bus number 1, x1, or at bus number 2 should be placed in there. So this, let's suppose this fourth F4 is defining that to make the bus number 4 observable, either the PMU should be placed at bus number 3, 4, 5th or 7th. So if the F4 is placed in any of these three, x3, x4, x5, x7, then this bus will be observable. So you can also see here, this is bus number 4. If you place PMU is here, this bus will be observable. Otherwise, if you place here, then this bus is connected to this one. This bus also be observable. If you place PMU is here, in this here, so in this case, then this fourth bus will also be observable. Other case, if you place here at bus number 3, this here, so again this bus will be observable. So this F4 will be equal to or greater than 1. So similarly for F6, it means that to make the bus number 6 observable, either the PMU should be placed at bus number 2, 3 or 6. And similarly F7, X2, bus number 2, bus number 4 or bus number 7, there should be placed PMU to make the bus number 7 as observable. So we are going toward the proposed method that should be most of the rules are taken from this research paper. So these are the procedure for finding out the optimal location of the PMU using any non-global optimization algorithm like PSO, GA, stimulate training, artificial bee colony, Firefly, or whatever differential evolution algorithm, pattern search or fmingun, whatever you need, whatever you like, optimization technique you like. So let's start with the procedure of finding out the optimal location of PMU. First of all, form the connectivity matrix. Connectivity matrix is simple, what you have already defined. This is the connectivity matrix that tells us about how the buses are connected. So this is the first choice, we should define the connectivity matrix. So the second thing is to find out the isolated or the radial buses of a system. These are defined buses BC, RB. The buses that are connected to, also find the buses connected to the radial buses, BC, RB, buses connected to the radial buses. So in this case, in this network, our radial buses are this bus number, the last bus, bus number 5, and the bus number 1 are radial buses. And the buses connected to these radial buses are, in this case this is a 4-1, in this case this is the bus number 2. Bus number 2 and bus number 4 are buses connected to the radial buses. So the next thing, remove the zero injection buses from the set of buses connected to the radial buses. If BCRB is one of them are zero injection buses. What is zero injection buses? So the bus where no load is connected is called zero injection bus. And for the detailed rules, if you don't, if it's difficult for you to understand this procedure, please go to our previous lecture. The rules of observability are defined there. So first go through that lecture, then it will be easier for you to understand this lecture. So the step number 4 is by using the PMU bus selected. So select the remaining buses. So first of all, you have to remove the zero injection buses from the buses connected to the radial buses. So from step number 3, it is clear that you should not make radial buses as PMU buses. So this is the main conclusion of bus number 3. Once the buses connected to the radial buses, you have removed the zero injection buses from those list of PMUs that are connected to the buses connected to the radial buses. Select them as a PMU placement buses. So install temporarily PMUs there. Consider the PMUs are there. So by using the PMU bus selected in this one, find directly observable using whatever. So the observability, direct observability and indirect observability are these rules are defined in our previous lecture. So first of all, you should find indirectly observable, and the directly observable buses will be those buses where the PMUs are installed. So in step number 5, so you have to find out the observability index of each bus. So observability index of each bus means when placing a PMU on that specific bus, how many buses can be made observable. That's the observability index of that specific bus. Let's suppose in this case, if I place there at this bus, if I place PMU here, then this bus will be observable, this bus will be made observable, this bus and this bus. These 4. So the observability index of this specific bus is 4. So in the next step number 6, find out the maximum value of the OIB and select that having a maximum OIB. This bus having maximum OIB. So sort all the buses in the descending order. So the first, and select the first one that has the maximum number of observability index bus. So in step number 7, from a set of buses having maximum OIB, now remove zero injection buses. As if there is any zero injection bus, first remove them. If the remaining buses are greater than 0, so greater than 0, then go to step number 8. In the step number 8, if number of buses in finding in step 1 is 1, select that bus as PMU bus and go to step number 9. If the buses that are remaining in step number 7 are 1, select this bus as a PMU bus and go to step number 9. Step number 9 is simple to find out the observability of the system by finding the directly observable, indirectly observable. We also go through the MATLAB code, then it will be more clear for you to understand these terminologies and this procedure to place the optimal placement of to place optimal phase measurement unit. So then the next one is else. In the other case, check whether there is any other bus. There is any bus in set of connected to zero injection buses that is also connected to a radial bus. If yes, select that bus as PMU placement bus. So it's saying that in your choice, if there is any bus that is connected to the radial buses and that is also connected to zero injection bus, so that should be selected as PMU and go to step 9. Step 9 means find the observability of that of the system. Otherwise go to the next bus that has the maximum OIB. So you will be make an order of that observability index of the buses, and first you will select the first one that has the maximum and then go to the next one and go on and so on and so on, and go to step 6 and repeat. Else find the unobservable buses. In other case, you have to go to the in step number 9 you have find all the observability of all the buses. In the least case, in the worst case, select those buses which are not observable and place PMU there. and go to step number 9. When you will go to the step 9, you will again calculating, as now you have placed much more sufficient PMUs, and you will finding the observability of that system. So then go to the step number 10. If the total observability index is equal to total number of the system bus. Total observability means in this case, if all the buses are observable, then the total observability of the system should be 7, as the total number of the buses is 7. So if the total observability is equal to the number of the buses in the system, then it means the system is completely observable. As already said, that if all the buses are observable in this case, by placing those specific PMUs, then it means your system is completely observable. For example, in this case, if we place, so concluding our up till now, up till step number 8, as we decided that find the buses that are connected to the radial buses. So this one and these buses are connected to the radial buses. So if these are not the radial zero injection buses, place a PMU there. So I'm making a circle that PMU is placed there. So if the PMU is placed there, as already defined in our previous lecture, the bus will be observable as PMU is placed there and the nearby buses, buses connected to that specific buses. So in this case, this bus, this bus, this bus, and this bus will be made observable by this specific bus. We have placed the second PMU as there in this at this bus. So this bus and the buses connected to this bus are this one, and this one is already observable. So you can see that all the 7 buses are now observable with the help of 2 PMUs. One PMU is placed at their bus number 7, and the second one is placed at the bus number 4. So the observability of the system is 7. So in step number 10, if the total observability in this case is equal to the number of the buses, then the system is completely observable. As our buses are 7 and the total observability is also 7, so your system is completely observable. So go to step 11. Otherwise, go back step 5 and repeat it again until you make the system observable. So in the next step 11, you have to do the pruning. What does it mean, the pruning? So you will be find out one non-PMU bus which are connected to more than one PMU's buses. So you have to find the buses which are connected to the more than one PMU buses. So like suppose in this case, this bus number 7, you will be choosing this one, and this is connected to more than one PMUs. This is connected to this PMU as well, this is connected to this PMU as well. And then you will be making shuffling of those buses, PMUs from one bus to the other bus. So you will place, instead of there, you will place PMUs there, and again will check the observability of the system. So you will be doing that. In this, the summary of step number 11 and step number 12 is go in recursive again and again and check and shuffle the number of PMUs, the PMU placed there. If any of the PMU is redundant, you should remove that. Remove one PMU at a time from the buses set of PMUs obtained from the step 11. In step 11, you will be removing one PMU at a time and will be checking the observability of the system. If the system is not observable, then do not remove it. If the removing of that PMU, the system is observable, then remove that specific PMU. So for example, in this case, after shuffling, let's suppose after shuffling the same placing exists. So if we remove this PMU, if we remove it, so our one PMU was here and the second was here, so we have removed this PMU. So now again check the observable. This is observable, this is connected to this one, this will be all observable, this will be observable, this will be observable. So these two bases will not be observable because these are not connected to any PMU, neither the PMU is placed on these buses. So you can't remove these PMUs. This is the summary of step number 10, step number 11A and step number 11B. So here is the simulations. for bus number IEEE 14 buses, what are the minimum possible PMUs that can be placed. Similarly for 30 bus system, for 57 bus. So let's move toward the MATLAB code. So here is the MATLAB code. That's this code for IEEE 14 bus system, including considering the zero injection buses. We have, as already discussed, that we have code for placement of the PMU, for the optimal placing of the PMU for 14 bus system as well as for 30 bus system. And even if for both the cases, we are two cases further, considering the zero injection buses and without considering the zero injection buses. And for further, we have different case studies comparing the results of different optimization techniques like the PSO, GA, ABC and hybrid techniques. So let's start some portion of the main basic portion of the code. So how we have implemented it, we will be just seeing the basic overview, not in detail. So first of all, this is the line data of IEEE 14 bus system, and we are defining from and to buses. And this is the line number data 1 and data call number 2 are from and to buses. And then first of all, we are forming the connectivity incidence matrix. We are just checking if the bus is check connection is a function that we have defined here. That's just checking if the bus I are connected or not. If connected, then I is equal to, if ij are connected, then that specific entry of the incidence matrix will be 1, otherwise 0. So in the next step, we are finding the radial buses. We have the function that are buses, radial buses, that's finding the radial buses. So in this case, we are just making a for loop, and we are checking that if the from entry, the from bus is connected to that specific I, means there is only one bus connected to this I, either the from or the j. If either one entry of bus is connected, then out will be equal to 1, means that specific bus is a radial bus, and place that bus in this radial bus entry and the specific row. So that will be a list of, after running this for loop, this radial buses array will give us a list of buses that are connected, that are radial buses in this specific system. So first of all, we are finding the radial buses. It will be a row containing the radial buses, and next thing will be finding the observability index of, as we defined that first of all, define the observability index of each buses. So in this function, we will just defining that the connectivity of a matrix of a bus to other buses, to how many number of buses a specific bus is connected is called the observability index of that specific bus. So we just here in this for loop, we are running a for loop and checking that if that specific bus, to how many number of buses is connected that specific bus. So that will be the we will be increasing the index of that one. It is connected to more number of buses. So that will be result the index of that specific bus. So we are finding the index of each bus and then returning it to this main function. So OIB all is the for loop finding the observability of all the buses. So then again we are sorting it based on the ascending order. So and we have 14 buses, index will be in this order. So first of all, we have not injected the zero injection bus, and that's xn is selected by the optimization algorithm. We have the optimization algorithm PSO, J, or whatever we have optimization algorithm we are using, either linear programming or whatever. So those selected buses PMU place at specific buses will be copied in this PMU list. So this PMU list is the number of PMUs placed at different buses. So if it is connected to bus number 7, we are checking that PMU is connected to bus number 7. If those are connected to bus number 7, this means that the bus number 7 is observable and zero bus injection topology is being added. So if ZIB is added, means the bus number 7 is observable. So for time now being that PMU 7, bus number 7, consider it as a PMU. Although you have not placed their bus as per rules as defined in our previous lecture, then the bus number 7 is observable. So again we are checking that the length of that PMU list, if it's less than or equal to m, so we again here checking that we are making the for loop, and in the for loop we are checking that if any the PMU list is repeating, means redundant, means like suppose if 3 like bus number 3 is placed considered 2 times by this algorithm, optimization algorithm, if it is 2 times repeated, if the PMU list array contains 2 buses, means 3 3 4 4, means remove that redundant PMUs. So here we are removing that redundant PMUs. If the length of the PMU is m, simply contains the length of the number of the PMU placed at this one, and we are increasing the m and the p. And similarly here again, after finding the observability and make the system observable, and to choose that if those PMUs are sufficient to make the system observable, so at the end we are again removing that bus number 7 from the PMU list, because that was just 0 injection buses. Actually the PMU was not placed, we just considered it as a PMU bus because it was connected to a bus that has a PMU. So here we have included the bus number 7 in the PMU list, and again after analysis we are removing that bus number 7 from the PMU list here in this line. So in this base we are checking the observability of that PMU list. So we have specific list of number of PMUs placed as specific buses, and by calling this observable buses, and this observable buses is nothing, just the checking the observability of the each bus, whether the each bus system is observable or not. So buses observed means how many number of buses are observed in that specific system. So here we are, if the 0 injection buses were added, then the fitness will be the length of the PMU minus 1, otherwise the fitness function will be the length. As already we defined that what is the objective function. Objective function is simple, the summation of the number of PMUs. Here this one is implemented. Again we are finding the fitness means the objective function. So the length of the PMU means the summation of this PMU number of PMUs. So here we are checking if the summation of the buses observed is equal to or greater than the total buses, means all the buses, we are ensuring that all the buses are observable, then it's okay. Otherwise put a penalty factor of 100 on the objective function, and that's the PMU, that's just inserted to the base space, base work, MATLAB workspace, nothing else. So that's the algorithm of finding the optimal buses in a power system. If you need any help related to this one 30 bus or 14 bus system using different techniques, you can contact us, text us, you can email us given at the email address given in description. Thank you very much, but keep watching our channel.
We provide the research simulations in the field of optimization, specially power systems and renewable energy resources.